Most folks talk about how you had the great duel at Daytona, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but most folks don't remember the lesson that happened at Phoenix in 1993. What was going on through all of that? Because to me, it looked like you guys were just racing each other hard. Was it just more of him just trying to pull the rookie's chains a little bit, try to like get into your psyche, or more like, hey man, don't race me this way. This is how you race me.
Well, that was the uniqueness and the skill that Dale Earnhardt had, and maybe the thing he kept close to his vest and didn't share with you. So you never really knew. You just knew that you typically ended up on the bad side of things when it resulted in you in the fence. But yeah, hard to say. I mean, I had a tremendous amount of respect for Dale and learned so much from him on all the tracks, but certainly Daytona, Talladega, I feel like is probably where I learned the best lessons and applied them. But he also taught me about racecraft, right? I mean, you got to recognize who you're racing at all times, and you race everybody different. Everybody's got a different style, different personality, and you don't get the nickname Intimidator for no reason. He knew how to use the air around his car. He knew how to use the bumpers. He knew how to intimidate you, and you usually, again, like, you would end up on the bad side of it. So you didn't retaliate with a guy like Dale Earnhardt. So the lesson I learned at Phoenix that day was. And I look back on it now, and it was my fault. Should I have been wrecked for it? Probably not, but it was my fault because we're whatever late in the stages of the race, and I'm just racing him so hard. On He was better than me, right? He caught me. He was going to pass me, and I just continued to race him on the outside. And I think he got tired of it and frustrated and impatient. He's like, okay, I got to teach this rookie a lesson here, because he doesn't know how to race in the top 10 at a place like Phoenix. So I look back on it, it taught me a lot. I didn't like that I was backed in the fence, but I can promise you from that point on, and it wasn't just how I raced Dale, it's how I raced other competitors. It was, is it worth it for me right now to be fighting this hard for this position? Or is this one that I probably need to give up and get back later? And then you can look at Mark Martin. He probably took that to the extreme more than anybody that I ever raced against. Is a lot of times, before you even got to his rear bumper, he's like, go ahead. And you're like, oh, that was easy, man. Mark's the greatest guy to race against. He's so, so respectful, and you don't have to work so hard to pass him. And then all of a sudden, 25 laps later, here he comes marching right on by you and expecting the same in return. I learned a lot from a lot of guys, but that day in Phoenix, I learned, to know when to race hard and know when not to.